Hi guys, we are at the dog park today. Look how pretty it is. You're gonna see some dogs again, maybe, I don't know. We are gonna talk about laziness and family today. Why do I want to do a talk on laziness? Because it's not about the laziness, it's about the pain, actually, right? You're young and your brain hasn't even developed yet. Your frontal lobe is not 100% until you're 25 years old, okay? And you're lazy, quotation marks, because you need a break from how you feel in a short term, okay? So you chill. But in a long term, it's messing with your brain. You have painful feelings, and nobody showed you how to process those feelings, okay? So it's just easy to drink some alcohol, smoke some weed, and chill. And you can't accomplish what you need to accomplish, right? And your family calls you lazy, right? But it's not laziness, it's pain. Why do you have painful emotions? Why? Because of trauma, right? Because of trauma. And children can be traumatized not just by something that happened to them, but just by not having their needs met, but not being seen, but not being heard, by not being held, okay? Those are wounds for a child. So you don't need to have actual physical or sexual abuse to experience trauma. Abandonment, neglect, negligence, they're all trauma. I have a huge abandonment issue because my dad left when I was 3 years old, okay? And hold on a second. We got more dogs in here. Look at my dogs. Oh, we're gonna stop. All right, we're back. Look at other dogs. So my dad got an opportunity to run across the border into former Yugoslavia, and he took it, right? If you lived in Romania in the 70s or 80s, you know how it was. This guy Ceausescu was a tyrant, and he starved the whole population. He was like worse than Saddam Hussein. He eventually got killed by the military because he ended up killing a bunch of women and children in 1989. Google it, it's crazy. But the Romanian people, had enough. So when the revolution happened, they killed them. But I lived there from 1972 to 1986, and I was starving all day long. I remember my mom saying things like, we only have an egg left until we get any food. You need to go outside and forage for whatever you can find. So I was hungry all the time. I used to eat toothpaste. All the stores were like empty all the time, okay? And everything was on a ratio, like everything. We would get, I'm not sure, but I think like a liter of oil a month, 1 kilogram of sugar per month. All of it was in ratio. And when a truck of produce will come, the whole city would line up for blocks. And I would stay in line. I was a little girl. I would stay in line for like 6 to 8 hours, get squished. For Christmas, we would get one orange a year. One orange a year. I remember me and my brother would keep that orange until it got rotten because it was so precious to us. We wouldn't want to eat it. So when we got out of the country and we first saw orange juice in Italy, we were looking at each other going, psh, why would anyone squeeze the orange to make orange juice? Because it's like gold. It just didn't make any sense, right? I can go on forever. I have so many stories like this, and I really plan on doing a documentary about it. But for now, I just want to say that my dad left not because he was a deadbeat dad, okay? He's not. He's an amazing dad. He left because he had an opportunity to run, and he took that opportunity. I'm here now, and I'm glad that he did what he did. But when he left, I was 3 years old. My brother was 3 months old, right? And my mom had major depression at the time. I'm, of course, undiagnosed because nobody talked about mental health. She died undiagnosed in 2003, so she never knew that there was a better way of living life. She struggled really hard all the time. I would hear her crying, yelling, threatening suicide. It was really unbelievable looking back. I feel so bad for her. But while I was a kid and a young adult, I really hated her and I was really embarrassed by her. So we really didn't have a good relationship. She would lock me in a house with my brother and go to work, and I would escape through the windows. Like we had like these little bars in the windows, and I would leave my brother, who was like 1, 2, 3, up to like 11, and I would walk the streets and look for her. And I would go into random buildings, restaurant, parks, looking for her all day. I don't know how my brother survived. He recently told me that once he was able to walk, he would go outside and beg for food. He learned that from some gypsy people. So I was so sad. My mom had like an evening job, and she would leave like late afternoons, and she would get back like 12, 1, 2 a.m. and then sleep all day. And I had to wake up every morning and go to school, and then I would come back and she was still sleeping. The only time I would see her when, I don't know, it was like 5 to 7, and then I remember going to bed every night by myself, being terrified that she wouldn't come back. Like, it's terrifying. I hated her for going to work and not taking care of us, for having me taking care of my brother, who in turn I've abused greatly. Okay, you don't even know, because that's what children do. They dump their anger on other children. They're smaller than them. I used to torture him. I remember hitting him with a big rock right in his head, right here. And he started to bleed so bad, I thought he was going to die. There was a huge gush, like this much. Like, he still has a scar in the middle of his forehead. It is like a big sharp rock. And for sure, I would have killed him if I would have hit him harder, or if the rock was sharper. And I don't even want to talk about the sexual abuse because I blocked it. But I don't think my mom had any guys around her, or any kind of family members, cousin, uncles, that didn't touch me. Yeah, it was like a free-for-all on children over there. I talked to like other Romanian girls, and we all experienced the same thing. Children were abused all the time. Nobody was doing anything about it. Teachers were allowed to do really, really cruel things. I remember we had a corner in a classroom where the kids were, like, if you're bad, right, they were put on their knees facing the wall with their hands up, like this. Sometimes the teacher would bring walnuts, smash them, and we would sit with our knees there. Like, my knees would bleed because the walnuts would cut into the knees. And if you put your hands down, the whole class would be like, no, Claudia put her hands down. And you get smacked with the wrong ruler, okay? And all this was normal. We never questioned it. I'm telling you all this so you understand the lens of how somebody else sees something, okay? That's called frame of reference. And that's a tool that's going to help you deal with situations where somebody disapproves of you. Disapproves of who you are, who you love, what you believe, and how you live in your life. And you need to know that family is going to be much harsher with you and in your face about all these things, because they have a stake in your happiness and your success. Okay, that's why they call you lazy. Okay, that's why they call you names. You're not. Hold on one second. Hold on. All right, so we're back. So listen, they call you lazy because they're doing life with you. So when you're happy, it impacts them. When you're sad, it impacts them. When you're broke, it impacts them. When you're doing the things you're supposed to do, like, it impacts them, right? And it impacts them when you're not. And the problem is that even though they care about you, they don't know how else to say anything. So they push you, they criticize you, they call you lazy, and they have a ton of opinions about wasting your potential, right? The important thing you need to know is that when family criticizes you or gossips about you, they think it's a form of loving you. And sometimes it crosses the line, from caring to control. Your family has known you the longest, so they feel entitled to say that. They feel entitled to their opinions because they feel that they know you best, which is typically, you know, like what they say is like they know what's good for you, right? But it's like it's what's good for them. Everybody in a family has expectations about each other and how families should operate. This family relationships, it cuts deeper than any other relationship that you're going to have, because family form an interconnection like system. This is from Mel Robin book, Let Them. And it's amazing book. Like, you should go out and buy it right now if you read books or audiobooks. But this is what Mel says. She says that a family is like a spider web. Everybody and everything is connected. So if you make a change, it's more dramatic for them to accept than your friends or your acquaintances. Any change you make will send either a positive or a negative wave through the whole entire system. Everybody is energetically and biologically connected to each other. If you like it or you don't like it, it's DNA, it's science. Any kind of small change will affect the whole entire system. It's like the butterfly effect, okay? Google butterfly effect and you'll see. Just know, like, simply know this, okay? And basically accept that as a fact. People that you are related to will have a reaction because you are part of this interlock web of relationship that's been in place for generation. Thinking this way will help you navigate and understand why your family is a pain, okay? I know it's not right, but this is reality. So if they call you lazy, let them. Prove them wrong by strategically having a plan, having a good approach. Understanding the larger context of the situation helps you stay in control and not get bothered by their words. And with that, don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat, and don't kill any insects today. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Look how pretty it is, the baby. Mwah.